how to stay committed to your fitness goals even without support. Hey, what's happening? This is Isai Rodriguez, host of the Dad-Splanation Podcast, where I cater to the professional working man, 40 and above, who's looking to make positive changes to his health, lose weight, and become stronger overall through simple lifestyle changes. I'm here to share inspiration, tips, and proven lessons that I've personally learned and lived through in my 40 plus years on this here beautiful blue planet. So today we'll start the discussion off by talking about the 7-minute full body mobility workout meant to help you move better in our first segment. And then we'll move on to our second segment and talk about how to stay committed to your fitness goals even without support. And listen, your health and fitness goals are easier to achieve than you think. First and foremost, it's about getting your mind straight right from the get-go. So I've got a freebie for you, the 10 Dad-Splanation Mind Hacks that'll help you whip your mind into shape so you can turn around and whip your body into shape. Does that sound good to you? Then head on over to podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks to get your freebie today and start using these 10 hacks to exercise consistently and create the real and lasting results you're truly after and that you absolutely deserve. That's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Again, that's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Be in the know starting right now. Also, don't forget to rate me on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you're listening to this episode right now. And leave me a nice, fat, juicy 5-star review and some absolutely beautiful words of why you love the show so much. It really helps me get the word out, and it's honestly the one place where your vote truly matters. And now, let's move into our first segment with Healthy Conversations. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I am loving it. All pumped up, all ready to go. Loving the weather out here. Everything is going great. Hopefully you guys are doing well. So what are we talking about this week's installment of Healthy Conversations? Good question, good topic if you ask me. One that's been kind of, thrown around the industry a bit is this whole thing about mobility, and you have to be or continue and stay mobile or moving, so when it comes to getting stronger, your recovery days are just as important as your active ones. And today we're talking about a recovery that is all about making your body more mobile, more flexible, if you will. So first off, mobility refers to the range of motion of the joints and other parts of the body. And mobility is critical for allowing you to move normally in your daily life. So whether you're tying your shoes or going for a walk around the block, mobility in your body is what helps you make all of that happen easily. I think it goes without say, but I'll say it anyway. Everyone can benefit from being a little bit more mobile. There, I said it. It's out there. It's out in the universe. Let's be honest with ourselves. Keeping your body moving is really, really important, because it's true what they say, that a body in motion stays in motion. This is actually physics. This is Newton's first law of motion, to be exact. So, if you're always moving, your body will remain limber, flexible, and basically in motion. It'll stay moving. That's why on this episode, I'm bringing you a 7-minute full body mobility workout that'll stretch and strengthen each muscle in your body. How's that sound? Does that sound good? Let me know. Because by working on your mobility on an active recovery day, you're doing your future self a favor, So that's the key there, your future self. You're doing work right now so that you can reap the benefits long into the future, or when you get older, dare I say. So grab a chair or a wall and let's get right into it. So the first mobility exercise to get us started here is the forward and back standing leg swings. These are great. These leg swings are a great way to wake up your hip flexors. This will help, this will feel awesome if you've spent a lot of time parked in an uncomfortable work from home setup. And come on now, these days, who hasn't, So if that's you, then start by grabbing onto a chair or wall, with one hand for balance. You want to keep that balance, obviously. Then, swing the leg that's closest to the chair or wall. Swing that one forwards and backwards. Then simply turn around and hit the other side. That's all there is to it. I love this exercise because in the middle of my day, I can get up from my computer, hang on to a wall, swing my legs back and forth, one leg at a time, and boom, my hips instantly feel some relief. I really suggest you try these if you're, especially if you're like me and spend a lot of time sitting in front of a computer. I forget where I heard this, but someone labeled this quote unquote this inactivity as the new smoking. So kind of like when we started really understanding just how bad cigarettes can be for us. I think you get the point. It's the new smoking is what they say. It's that bad. Just sitting sedentary for hours and not moving and not getting up, not being mobile, not exercising. It kills your health, period. So that being said, let's move on to the second movement in this 7-minute workout with knee hugs. This is a simple one. Knee hugs are exactly what they sound like. You're basically giving your knee a hug. So you have to show your knee some love, So the way you do this is first you stand up tall, and alternate bringing one knee at a time into your chest. Simple, right? Wrap your arms around your calf to give your muscles a nice squeeze and a stretch. And that's all there is to it. I personally like to hug one knee for 5 seconds, just kind of bring it in tight, nice and firm, hold it for 5 seconds, and then the other for 5, and just go back and forth for about a minute or so, and, to loosen everything up there. I don't know if you've done yoga in the past, but there's a great leg and hip stretch called pigeon. These knee hugs are essentially kind of like a standing pigeon position, if you will, if you want to think about it that way. Simple exercise, yet truly effective. So try it out, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And loosen up them hips. Moving on to the third mobilizing movement is we have shin box lifts. So if you've got super tight hips like me, then this move here, these shin box lifts, these are a great way to really dig into your hips, like to really get in there and loosen them up and keep them flexible and whatnot. So what you'll want to do is first sit down in a butterfly position, then swing one leg back behind you the other way. So you're making a backward S with your knees, essentially. Then rock yourself up on your front knee to feel a nice stretch in the front of your hip flexor. If your chair or wall is like readily available and it's handy, then grab onto that for a little extra stability, because sometimes these movements can be super intense, especially if you haven't stretched in a long time or ever, you know what I mean? So you're going to feel some good stretching here in your muscles, in your hips, in your legs. So bear that in mind, keep that, be aware of that, and, make sure you have a wall or a chair readily available for a little support, little stability. So the fourth mobility move to get your limbs in check is the side-to-side standing leg swings. This is similar to the first exercise, the forward and back leg swings, but instead of going back and forth, you'll be going side to side. So here's what I mean. So if you still have a chair handy or wall, like I just mentioned, the wall works just as good as a chair, whichever one you have handy, place both hands on the back of the chair or on the wall if that's what you're working with. And then, swing one leg out to the side and back across the other way. This is a great way to stretch your abductors and your adductors, or the inner and outer thighs or quads, the inner and outer parts of your legs. Because here's the thing, these muscles are really important to work out, and more than work out, but to keep them flexible and mobile. It's super, super important to keep these muscles flexible, mobile, limber, able to perform any type of athletic movement. These muscles, they work together to help you remain stable on your feet throughout the day. The inner muscles in particular give your lower body the stability and the mobility that it needs while you go through your daily activities. And in fact, professional athletes depend on this important muscle group for what's known as explosive movements. So things like running and jumping, or moving from side to side, things like that. So it's super, super important to make sure they've been stretched and taken care of the right way. Take care of them properly, and they will take care of you. That's basically it. So for the fifth movement in this simple 7-minute workout is the lunge to rotation. This move is a great way to increase mobility in your thoracic spine, that, AKA the upper part of your back. And as I've mentioned before, this is a super duper uber problematic part of my body. So I personally use this exercise a lot to loosen up my upper back and keep the juices flowing in that part of my body. So the way you go about this movement is first, you'll want to step forward into a lunge. No biggie there, right? That's easy peasy. You know how to do a lunge. And so while you're in that lunge, extend your arms out to the side, then twist over your front knee. Simple move, Hold this for a few seconds, then switch sides. Easy peasy. Again, I use this often to loosen up my upper back and just bring some much needed relief from all the tension I carry in my shoulders and my neck and stuff. It's great for that. So if you're like me and you're sitting at a computer and typing and you don't have, especially if you don't have like one of these standing desks, which I highly recommend, just to get get the blood flowing. At least, you can stand up at your desk for a couple of minutes and then sit back down. Definitely try these upper back stretches, the lunge to rotation. Try that out to loosen up your upper back. And moving on to the sixth and semi-final move here is the push-up to child's pose. So I think some people kind of call this the Mike Tyson push-up. I was putting this podcast episode together, and I just happened to come across a video on YouTube explaining a Mike Tyson push-up, and I saw I saw the name Mike Tyson, and I just like, I gotta check this out, because I may be showing my age now, but Mike Tyson was a huge, I'm not gonna say a component in my early childhood, but he was a superstar, let's say, back in my day. Someone like, Muhammad Ali, you know what I mean? Like up there. But anyway, push up to child's pose. This is another great move to hit the upper back, and with the added benefit of throwing in that push up, You'll be hitting your arms, the chest, the shoulders, win-win all around, baby. So how do we do this? Well, simple, because, I like to keep things simple. What's the acronym? KISS? That's me. Without the S at the end. But starting in a high plank position, what you're going to do is you're going to drop down into a single push-up, then push yourself back into a child's pose. So again, start in high plank, drop down low to the ground, and then from the ground, you're going to push yourself directly into that child's pose. Oh, and don't forget to sink your hips into your knees. That's important, hips as close to your heels as possible, and then reach your hands out in front of you. And if you're not really feeling a full push-up on your mobility day, then, just drop down to your knees for a modified push-up instead. The important part here isn't the push-up. It's the movement from high plank to low plank and then into child's pose. That's what's important, the movement. And moving on to the seventh and final dynamic move, we have knee drive to down dog. Another great movement here. I love this one. And it's another one that kind of incorporates another yoga pose, if you haven't caught that. And so what we're doing here is that we're going to start off by bringing your hips up to a downward facing dog. So again, start in high plank and then hips up into downward facing dog. And then from there, swing one leg up and back behind you. This is tough for me because I'm not exactly that flexible, but give it a try because you won't get it anywhere if you don't even try. So give it a try, High plank, hips up into down dog, swing one leg up, doesn't matter which one, just choose one and run with it. And so when you've decided on which leg is going up, and that leg is indeed up in the air, then bring it in towards your nose or into your chest, hold it for a breath or two, and then from there, you'll kick your leg back up behind you and then back to your nose. Do this for 5 to 10 reps and then switch sides and do the same thing on the other side. And there you have it. 7 super simple movements that'll keep you loose as a goose. And so, the more you know, the better you'll be. And now, with all that said and done, let's switch gears and move on to our second segment with Mighty Man. Oh yeah, baby. What are we talking about on this week's installment of Mighty Man? Yeah, this is a good one. These are all good ones, actually. I mean, I wouldn't bring them up if I didn't feel they were good, right? But yeah, we're talking about how to stay committed to your fitness goals even without support. Because let's face it, it's mid-February right now, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there, or your friends, or people that have already given up on their New Year's resolution. Or maybe they're about to give up, So, yeah, that's why I brought this up, So, first off, staying fit and eating healthy without the encouragement of friends and family is hard for sure, but it's not impossible. And if you follow the 4 tips that I'm about to share with you, you'll be able to easily stay on track and focused, even if you're the only one on board. Because, it would be great to live in a world where fitness is celebrated every minute of every day. But unfortunately, many of us have friends and family who are, how should I say it? Less than enthusiastic about our fitness journey. Am I right? Seriously, how many out there have friends who are flaky, for lack of better terms, when it comes to fitness? Drop it in the comments. Let me feel your pain. If you have friends that bail on you when you try to plan a gym date, if your family rolls their eyes every time you fill your plate with veggies and chicken, drop it in the comments because you're not alone, trust me. And so if you're finding that sticking to a fitness routine without support is tough, then here are a few tips to keep you working out consistently and eating healthy without relying on friends and family to cheer you on. So, are you ready? All right, cool. Let's get into it. Then, the first tip we have here is easy peasy, because that's how I roll, Write down your goals. First one. This might seem obvious, but listen, writing down your fitness goals is a powerful way to create that internal motivation you need to get past any kind of negativity or peer pressure coming from your inner circle, those people closest to you. And, and the reality is that written goals, well, they help clarify exactly what you want to accomplish every time you head to the gym or turn down appetizers and dessert. This will make sticking to a fitness routine without support much easier. And it shows to others that you take your health seriously, which you do, or else you wouldn't be here, am I right? So write down your goals. And while you're writing, use the SMART acronym. I'm sure you've heard of SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you're down with SMART goals because they work. So, for example, instead of just writing lose weight, an example of a SMART goal might be lose 15 pounds by exercising at the gym 4 times a week and not eating after 7 p.m. for the next 10 weeks. That's how you define a SMART goal. Again, it's got to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. SMART goals ensure that you're unambiguous in what you want to accomplish. Like, you need to be super specific, because the more specific you get, the better it is. The more clearly defined your goal is, the easier it is for you to stay on track, to stay committed, because you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly what you have to accomplish. You know exactly, like, that goal is crystal clear. There's no reading between the lines. It's all written out there. It's, it works. There's no gray area. There's no, quote unquote, up to interpretation. There's no, again, reading between the lines. Nope. None of that. It's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. It clearly tells you how do you plan to get there and how long your goal should take. This kind of written goal basically gives you a roadmap to follow as you start on your fitness journey. It helps you avoid being derailed by family and friends. It keeps you on track. They can't knock you down because your goal is so clear, so precise. They can't, you can't be wavered. Use it to plan your week and then refer back to it anytime you feel yourself getting pulled off track. You know what I mean? So SMART goals, write it down. Tip number 2, get clear on your why. Why it is you choose to do anything can be a powerful motivator, and sometimes it can even have the power to influence and inspire others. As Simon Sinek explains in his book, Start With Why, a fucking amazing book, by the way. And in his book, Simon talks about how there are basically 2 ways to influence human behavior. You can basically manipulate it, or you can inspire it. So who knows? Maybe your friends and family are less than supportive of your efforts because they just don't fully understand why you're doing what you're doing. Maybe they've seen you struggle with a health routine in the past, and they don't want to see you suffer through the extra effort and sacrifice yet again. They don't want to see you go through that again. Their lack of support could be as simple as not understanding why you want to do it in the first place. So what you can do is you can take a minute and think about why you want to follow your fitness routine. Are you working out just to look better and fit into your clothes, or does it go deeper than that? Do you want to have more energy? Do you want to reduce some pain? Are you trying to sleep better, feel better? What is it? Do certain diseases run in your family, like heart disease or diabetes? Is this something you're trying to avoid by eating healthy and exercising? That's actually where I fall. Like, there in my family, there's just all sorts of diseases and illnesses, and everybody is suffering from pretty much everything. And I want to avoid that. Do you want to have better health and longevity and spend more quality time with your loved ones? Get clear on your why and why it is you're doing what you're doing. Because when you get clear on your why, you not only inspire yourself, but also inspire others, because you're confident, you're assertive, and you're a leader. Believe it or not, you are a leader because you're focused on what you want and you're on a mission to get what you want. Simon in his book says that working hard for something we do not care about is called stress. And he goes on to say that working hard for something we love is called passion. Can you feel that? And even if your passion doesn't end up inspiring the people around you, it can keep inspiring you every day. This will give you more than enough motivation to help you stay on track. Trust me. So get clear on your why and what it is, or what's that reason that you truly, why is it that you want to be so committed? What is it that, like, why do you want to hit that goal? Get clear, define that why, and it'll help you stay laser focused. Tip number 3, make your choice easy. Let's face it. Working out and eating healthy can be hard enough on its own, but when you don't have help from those people closest to you, it can really feel straight up impossible. Let's just put it out there. But here's how you flip things around. Since you'll be sticking to a fitness routine without support, without any help, all by yourself, then that leaves you free and open, 100% in charge of making it easier for yourself. And in my opinion, this is a good thing. This means prepping snacks and meals ahead of time so you always have healthy eating options. This includes packing a gym bag the night before so you can grab it and go straight out, first thing in the morning. This means things like scheduling your workouts on your calendar so you never have to cancel a lunch or move a play date or anything. Like you build your life around your fitness routine, your schedule. And as the saying goes, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So the trick to making your routine easy to follow is to have the healthy option available to you at all times. This is especially true when you don't have support, because you won't be able to rely on others to help you make the right choice. So it's all up to you. But you can look at this as a good thing, because on that same note, they can sometimes be a distraction. Think about it. If they decide like, hey, rather than go to the gym, let's go grab a bite or something, it very easily can become a distraction. But, stay focused and make your choices simple when you're on your own. Fitness tip number 4 for staying super committed is to find your fitness tribe. Let's get real up in here. Your friends and family just aren't into fitness. They're not. And honestly, that's okay. That's not a big deal. You don't have to drag your friends to the gym. You don't have to make your family eat healthy desserts just to keep yourself on track. There are plenty of people in the world who love working out and swapping healthy recipes and things like that. And I'm actually thinking of putting together a quote unquote a Dad-Splanation community where you can just go in there and do just that. Swap healthy recipes, share personal tips, other experiences and recommendations and things like that. I just haven't quite decided on whether or not that'll be like a Facebook group thing or if I want to make it more private and take it off Facebook and onto my own personal website. I've been throwing some ideas around for a while, and I've taken notes on what I've been thinking and, some pros and cons and whatnot. And I mean, I have a rough idea of how I'm gonna implement this, but I don't know, I haven't drilled down to the specifics yet. So we'll see. Anyway, not to get too far off topic, but yeah, use your fitness routine as an opportunity to meet new people and build a network of support. Start a running group, join a social media fitness challenge. Just start posting like what you're up to and what your goals are. Start publishing that onto social media. You'll be surprised the people that you'll attract just by posting what it is that you're doing, being honest, being open, being a little bit of vulnerable. And you'll see that the people that are meant to follow you, the people that, those people that you're looking for support, for that pat on the back, that push, that, to energize you, you may actually find them on social media. So again, join a social media fitness challenge or something like that. Start some sort of a group if you want, sign up for weekly recipes from your favorite health focused website. They're all over the place. Or my personal favorite, you could just join the Dad-Splanation VIP community. I'm just saying, that's why it's there. I'm throwing it out there. But that being said, finding other like-minded people and resources, even if it's just virtually, this lets your friends and family off the hook and gives you the feelings of support you need to stay on track. So get out there and make it happen. You've got it in you, champ. I believe in you. Everything you need to be successful is already inside you. And so with all that said and done, that's it, you guys. That's my show for today. I hope you found some valuable information here, and if nothing else, I hope I've entertained you for a few minutes and was able to bring you a little manly sunshine to you. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to me. It's very much appreciated. On next week's episode, we'll be talking about the 5 tips for developing a better relationship with food. So fellas, if you're not in a deep, loving, and committed relationship with food, the next week's episode is for you. And look, your health and fitness goals are easier to achieve than you might think. First and foremost, it's all about getting your mind straight right from the get-go. So I've got a freebie for you called the 10 Dad-Splanation Mind Hacks that'll help you whip your mind into shape so you can turn around and whip your body into shape. Does that sound good to you? Head on over to podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Get your freebie today and start using these 10 hacks to exercise consistently and create the real and lasting results that you're truly after and that you absolutely deserve. That's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Again, that's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Be in the know starting right now. Also, don't forget to rate me on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you're listening to this episode right now. And leave me a nice, fat, juicy 5-star review and some absolutely beautiful words of why you love the show so much. It really helps me get the word out, and it's honestly one place where your vote truly matters. Until our next chat, take care now. Bye.